Billy, hi. I remember the other day you said something that you were quite interested on how to build some chromatic walking bass lines, especially for the jazz band to get you sort of stuff like that. For example, that's obviously just a scale going up and down, but sort of the chromatic sort of vibe and where they came from. So what I thought might be quite a cool idea is to do some more of a theory lesson right now. We're going to go through some very basic scales. We're going to combine them together. So we're going to see how the chromatic actually all works together. I can actually take it from here. I can actually take it from over here. Okay, well that's enough of that. And really we're first going to start with the A minor pentatonic. Yes, I know it's obvious. I know you know this, but just for the sake of the PDF, we're starting at fret 5. We're running everything from A minor as the basic element. The notes obviously being A, C, D, E, G, A. And then luckily you're not a guitarist, so you know your notes. Okay, you can point it out to Matthew sometime that you know your notes better than he does. Okay, but really you know that scale obviously. Now step 2, we're going to look at the minor blues scale. Okay, this is basically the minor pentatonic, but it adds in a flattened fifth note. I think you might know the scale as well. It comes from songs like, for example, and it's this scale here. Again, you start the same again, fret number 5, that being the 5th fret, and it's going to go A, C, D, E flat, E. That's the flattened fifth. And the reason why they call it the flattened fifth is if you compared this note to the 5th note of A, that's the A major scale, that's the 5th note, A, B, C sharp, D, E. Remember, we always compare back to the major scale. Even if you're talking about minor scales and minor variations, everything is always compared in theory. It's got a flattened third or a flattened fifth or whatever with respect to the major scale starting on the same note. So your terminology is quite important there. And if there's any questions on the terminology, let me know. Yeah, but this is the flattened fifth, the E flat. So let's do it again one more time. You're going to play with 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going into the next octave. Nice easy scale. I'm sure you got that one hands down. The diagram is actually on the PDF as well. Next up, you're looking at the major blues, and the major blues scale is quite an unusual one because it's actually the minor pentatonic, but the major third is included. The major third obviously being the C sharp note. So if you played the A major scale, A, B, C sharp, D, E. So you're taking that, the major third note, and putting it into minor pentatonic so far. And I'm bringing in that C, C sharp. So actually quite an interesting scale here. You've got a scale that's got the flattened third, the minor third, and the major third, all in the same scale. So it's quite an ambiguous major-minor crossover. But it's referred to as the major blues scale, which is the minor scale with the major third note. Nice little interesting note there. Now, there's no rule that says we can't combine the minor pentatonic with the minor blues and take that and combine that with the major blues. That sounds quite cool. Now I could actually go a bit further because that there would be the E, and I could actually sort of resolve the scale a bit more, close it off. Sound a bit cooler, I guess. This means a bit of a hand jump, which is no hassle for you, I'm sure. So here's your new scale, which doesn't actually have a set name. It's just simply a combination of your minor blues with a flattened fifth and the major blues with a major third put together. So one more time, slow motion. 2, 3, 4, and okay. Now, in the theory over here, you've actually got a chromatic going from here. That's the C note to the C sharp. You sometimes think of chromatic when it's meant to be next to it, but in essence, that is same thing, hey? So you've got duplicate notes. So that's where you get your chromatic line from. So now you can put, say for example, a walking line. that's what I was doing at the beginning of the video. So what I hope you're getting out of this, and something for you to play around with, is that you got a nice chromatic run now, a nice chromatic sequence from the C, C sharp, D, E flat, which is D sharp, and then you're putting in the E as well. There we go. Now, what you want to also do now, a lot of blues, a lot of jazz uses seventh chords. So you know your arpeggio triads, okay? Your arpeggio sevenths as well, and this is step 5 on the PDF, sorry me. Okay, on the PDF. So really looking at the major triad, this is step 5. Okay, and in the background you got your. It actually sounded quite cool stopping on there, especially if I wanted to get a major sound. Sounded quite cool. But stopping on the minor blues scale, that sounds pretty dicey, so I wouldn't stop on that as a target note unless you're playing, of course, a diminished chord. So what I want you to think of here is, while playing this, if the sequence, like say for example your song has an A major chord, instead of going, you can go. For example, just different phrases. You'll notice with the I put this note in too. Okay, now that's a B note. So we say, well, what does B got to do with any of these scales? Well, it comes from the natural minor and the Ionian, which is the major scale. So there's no rule that says you can't really include the second as well, because that's the second note of the major scale. It's the second note of the minor scale. There we go. And here's the major. So why not go? Because that's really cool. Now you're going really chromatic. B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Why not? And you can even take the natural minor and pop in the F over there as well. Notice how the chromatic slowly starts getting longer and longer. So now you can go. And you can start getting some nice, more chromatic bass lines. And I think that's what you were asking for the other day in class. So I hope this little video, even though it's just a few minutes long, it'll give you a lot of practice time, a lot of hours trying at new ideas. So the trick is, whatever chord progression Mr. Martin gives to you, what Steve gives to you, know what the chord is, and then know what the target notes are. So if your chord was an A7th, for example, I would know those are my target notes, and I would know I could put the other notes into that. That sounds quite nice as well. So you can build a lot of more sort of creative lines if you know that your A minor pentatonic is your foundation, your neutral place, your starting place, and you're adding these other little passing notes into the whole scale. Really, any questions, let me know. Quite happy to help. I'm going to prepare another video for you later this week as well, so we can get 2 lessons worth of work. And really, please don't hesitate to give me a shout if you got a gap for a one-on-one lesson. Okay, but I hope this helps. Take care, bye.